Hello everyone, I am Maryan from Iran. Nice to meet you, and I want to say thank you Anna and Tishiya Miso for inviting me to the Shaw conference. So I want to start with Mehr Observatory. Mehr Observatory is an astronomy training center for teachers and students belonging to the Ministry of Education located in Bushehr province in the south of Iran. In the education system of Iran, in every city, in addition to the school, there is a student research center, which are mostly laboratories, and it should be said that the only student research center that is an observatory in Iran is Mehr Observatory. At first, I would like to mention the role of astronomy in Iran's curriculum and textbooks. Despite the interest of many students in astronomy, no specialized astronomy book is taught in the Iranian schools, and astronomy lessons are only observed in the 4th, 6th, 9th, and 11th grades. This is a good help, but these lessons alone cannot answer the curiosity and questions of the students and satisfy them. According to the interest of our students and after assessing the needs and consulting with educational research centers, with teachers who taught fields such as social sciences, psychology, art, history, literature, and etc., at the same time, in the field of astronomy were also active, we set a meeting and searched for ways to increase the capacities of the curriculum in line with the development of astronomy in the country's school. Then, considering UNESCO's 2030 document and IAU strategy plan, we came to the conclusion that each of these disciplines can have a strong potential to attract students to astronomy and familiarize them with this science. So, in this way, we formulated plans for implementation to deliver to the general administration, which after review we can implement in schools, which we will discuss in detail below. Since the plans and activities that were prepared were not in the curriculum, we decided to organize meeting with the heads of educational sector and deputy manager of the education departments and then present and justify the plans. In the meetings, we explained the programs, and since our focus was on teachers and students, fortunately, it was approved by the authorities, and they decided to support the implementation of the programs. So, holding the Sky Explorers Festival for students was one of the plans. The method of this festival is that during the academic year and usually at the end of the week, students can come to the observatory and set up a tent there as a group and camp overnight. Because the students are admitted in the evening, they can observe the sun during the day, and after that they can observe the night sky. The purpose of this student camping at the observatory is to encourage students to learn astronomy, learn to work with telescopes and cameras, cooperation, attention to the environment, and etc. One of the rules of participation in this program is that students shouldn't use any plastic items such as plastic tableware, plastic spoons and forks, glasses, and etc. As you know, Iranian schools are active in two shifts, morning and afternoon, and no formal training programs are provided for students at night. Therefore, in order to satisfy and justify the education authorities who were the final decision makers of this project, it was not an easy task, and with many efforts, we were able to add this festival to the education system. So, our other goal was to strengthen the connection between students and nature. Due to its unique geographical location, Iran has many beautiful mountains, plains, deserts, and seas, which are the best observatory places for teaching astronomy because they are far from the city and there is no light pollution. So we tried to turn each of these places into a classroom, then children can experience learning in nature. Therefore, students learn the basics of living in nature, such as setting up tents in nature, cooking with the help of classmates and teachers, playing and exercising in nature, and learning about astronomy under the starry sky. It is very important that students learn their lessons in nature because the greatest laboratory available to us is nature and the sky that we always have access to. So, in addition to learning about the sky and the constellations, wherever we are, teachers also teach the characteristics of that location. For example, if we are in the mountains, the geology teacher will also accompany the team and will teach the students about vegetation, rocks, and soil. Most of the students camp that belong to education are built a little far from the city and have a clear sky, as well as animals, birds, and vegetation can be seen there to teach the students. For example, you can see Dascape Student Camp in Shiraz city with the management of Mr. Ali Reza Dusti, a hard-working teacher who created a garden for students to learn, and he hosts students every day to teach them astronomy. So, this slide is about astronomy and sustainable development. We all know that natural resources are our valuable assets that are entrusted to us, and we have the duty to preserve and hand them over to the next generation. Therefore, it is our important duty as teachers to teach our students the importance of these natural resources. It is very good they study sustainable development in textbooks, but more important than this is to put knowledge into practice. A few years ago in Mount Bayrami in Bushehr province, some people planned to destroy the mountain and created a mine. If that mine was built, it would be very destructive because it would destroy the habitat of animals such as leopards and deer, causing them to escape and ultimately destroy them. This mountain contains a historical mansion and is one of the observation bases for students because it has a very clear sky without light pollution. When the students and their parents heard about the creation of a mine in this astronomy center, they started massive protests, and after many efforts, they succeed in preventing the creation of a mine in this mountain and mansion. Now, fortunately, this mountain and mansion have returned to their previous state, and no danger threatens the animals there nor students interested in astronomy. In the mansion, students gather together on astronomical occasions and celebrate festivals such as Nowruz. Education departments organize in-service astronomy courses for teachers, especially in Teachers University. The next topic is an ancient Iranian Chartakis. Here you can see a Chartakis belonging to the Sasani kingdom and that dates back to 20 centuries ago and is located on a high hill in Fars province. These Chartakis can be found in the most cities of Iran. Some of Iran's Chartakis have a calendar application. Therefore, we decided to bring the students to this place to watch the moment of sunrise and sunset in this place, take notes, sketch, measure, and learn about the old architecture. After the sunset, the students are engaged in observing and photographing the sky. In Iran, there are well-known poets and writers who lived centuries ago, and in addition to writing poetry, were also astronomers, such as Khayyam, Khaqani, Manuchehri, and Hafiz. By studying these masterpieces of these poets, we find out that astronomy had a special place in the people's lives in the past. Therefore, those students who are interested in literature and history can get information about ancient astronomy by studying these works and start their own research in this field. Iran's calendar is an astronomical calendar, and students in school celebrate festivals such as Nowruz, Tirgan, Yalda, and Mehgan, which coincide with equinoxes and solstices. In this way, they get to know cultures and traditions and keep them alive. And they also find out the astronomical reasons through conversations and research. On the other hand, ADIS, I mean Astronomy Day in a School, has also provided a platform where students from all over the world do a project and celebrate on the occasion of these days. Astronomy brings people closer together and makes connections stronger because people of all ages are curious about astronomy, and that brings people together. In many astronomical ceremonies, families also accompany their children. Astronomy strengthens the relation between teachers and students throughout various trips and projects and creates empathy. And thank you for your attention. If you have any question, this is my email, and I will be happy to be in touch with you. Thank you very much.